For silent reflection and pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Campion?
Here.
Mrs. King? Here. Mr. O'Brien? Mr. Schuler?
Here.
Mr. Borbath?
Here.
Mayor McCampbell?
Here. Pursuant to the requirements of New Jersey Open Public Meeting Act, notice of this meeting was included in the annual meeting notice filed in the office of the Borough Clerk, posted on the Borough website, and on the bulletin board in the municipal building. Published as a legal notice in the Co-Star newspaper, mailed to those requesting notice and providing payment in accordance with borough policy. Need a motion to approve the agenda.
Okay, motion?
Second.
Any questions on the agenda? Roll call, please.
Mr. Campion?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Borbath?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Mayor, if I can take a moment, I just want to make an announcement. At our last meeting, we introduced two ordinances, ordinance 2015-07, which we're having a public hearing for tonight. We also introduced 2015-08, which at that meeting I stated we were going to have a public hearing today. We are not, because that ordinance has to go over to the planning board for their review and report back with regard to the master plan. So there is not, in case anyone was here to attend for that purpose.
Thank you, Denise. Now we'll run through the minutes. First up is November 13th, 2012, the regular Borough Council meeting. We need a motion and a second.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Do we have any questions?
Just a comment.
Good.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote for them, but it's just a little unfair to have stuff from 2012 and 13. You know, we have to recall back to the meeting and so forth, so, you know.
Yes.
Well, whatever, I'm just saying it's not a good practice for all of this.
This is an aberration.
I understand. And we're remedying, and I understand that too. I understand.
Okay. Anything else? Roll call, please, Jenny.
Mr. Campion?
Abstain.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. Borbath?
Yes.
Thank you. April 8th, 2013, regular session. Motion and second.
Make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any questions? Roll call.
Mr. Campion?
Abstain.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Borbath?
Yes.
Thank you. April 22nd, 2013, regular session. Need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Campion?
Abstain.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Borbath?
Yes.
Thank you. May 13th, 2013, regular session. Motion and a second.
Make that motion.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call.
Mr. Campion?
Abstain.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Borbath?
Yes.
Thank you. August 17th, 2015, this will be a regular session.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call.
Mr. Campion?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Borbath?
Abstain.
Okay. Is that it, Janine?
We're done.
Okay, thank you. I want to thank Janine for her hard work. No presentation at this time. We do have, as Janine mentioned before, we do have a public hearing for ordinance number 2015-07. This is ordinance on the yield intersections in town. So if you have a question or you'd like to speak on this ordinance, just step forward. I believe these are going at Ocean Road and...
Yes, Mayor, if I may, just for the benefit of the public, this ordinance was introduced at the last meeting and was the subject of a previous discussion and presentation by Borough Engineer Joe May. Joe May is not available this evening, but this is creating it's dealing with the intersection of Old Mill Road and Ocean Road, and is creating a designated right turn only lane for eastbound traffic on Ocean Road, making the right turn onto the southbound Old Mill Road.
Jay, that Ocean Road and Old, The Shore Road in Jersey is not a part of this?
That's correct. This is only the Old Mill Road, Ocean Road intersection, and it's technically with the creation of the designated right turn only lane, this is establishing that as a yield for the southbound traffic.
So I just crossed that part out, right?
That's an existing, the
Oh,
underlying
an existing
modification.
street.
Oh,
All right,
okay.
this is amending the section 7-6.3.
Oh, okay.
So it's adding another yield intersection. It's not a whole new ordinance.
Oh, okay, I see. This wasn't this.
We don't pay attention.
I understand your question.
Well, I did, I just saw the two roads there, and I'm like, you know, thanks.
Okay, thank you, Chitty. If anyone would like to speak on this ordinance, just step forward, give your name and address. Seeing no hands, I need a motion to close it.
I'll make that motion.
I'll say.
All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion to adopt ordinance number 2015-07.
I'll make that motion.
We have a second.
I'll second.
Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Campion,
Yes.
Mrs. King,
Yes.
Mr. Schuler,
Yes.
Mr. Gordon.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you.
And Mayor, just on that note, because this ordinance does require the approval of the Commissioner of DOT, Department of Transportation, there is a period before this will take effect until the Commissioner has a chance to review that and make a determination.
Thanks again, Jim. We do reach the point in the meeting where we do have a public comment section where you may discuss any item on the agenda. If anyone would like to speak on the agenda, just step forward, give your name and address. Pretty light agenda, not much on here. Seeing no hands, I need a motion to close it.
Make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Move on to the mayor and council reports. Let's see, Mr. Schuler, do you have anything on the public?
Yeah, we started a cleanup at the Borough on LR Road,
Okay.
and hopefully we'll get that done.
Yeah, I go past. The brush was cut out.
Yeah. Cut out the brush, what, poison ivy they got out of there, Jay? or-
Yes, the first phase is essentially completed. The contractor came in. There were a number of trees that were identified as imminent hazards. Those were removed. The second phase of trees are marked for removal. They have not all been completed. And every tree in the park will be evaluated, and some may require some additional pruning, trimming, or removal. The contractor completed the first ground clearing as well as cutting the vines in the first 2 or 3 feet of each tree. The contractor has vacated now for a period of approximately 1 week to allow the vines to die off. We'll come back, devine all the trees, perform the evaluation, and then move on from there.
Jay, do you know when this is supposed to be 100% by? I know with the contractor was supposed to be a finite time.
Yes, it was a 30-day contract from the date of notice to proceed that was issued at the end of August.
Thank you.
Anything else, Jim?
No, that's it.
Mrs. King?
I have a few things to report on. First, I want to acknowledge a thank you note that was written to the Spring Lake Heights Police Department from Joan Egan. Apparently, she needed assistance and was taken to the hospital, and she wanted to thank our patrolmen, Tom Kenny and Ray Krakowski, for all of their help during her illness. The other thing I want to mention is that police officer Kenneth Hager received a certificate for law enforcement against drugs, and it says that Patrol Officer Kenneth Hager, Spring Lake Heights Police Department, has met all requirements and standards set forth by LEAD Incorporated and is hereby certified to be a LEAD certified instructor. This officer is additionally certified in the Too Good for Drugs curricula for grades 5th through 8th. And this was presented to him by Nicholas DeMauro, Executive Director, Chief Executive Officer of LEAD Incorporated, on August the 3rd of this year. Also, we had a night out against crime that was held in Seagirt, and our lead person from the police department here was Michael Matunis, and and he was involved in setting up for that and participating in it along with some of our other officers that were there that evening. I don't remember all of them that were there, but I do know that there were about 4 or 5 others, Chris Bennett, I believe Bob Schaefer, and a few others. And then also, we did have a grant that was given to us for Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over. I know that there has been a couple of questions regarding that grant that have been presented to me, and I have not had a chance to talk to the chief about it, but a couple of people have asked me exactly what is that grant money used for. Maybe Jay can answer that question here tonight. And also, the other thing, I was hoping a reporter would be here from the Coast Star, but some people were concerned that the article was put in after the fact, and didn't understand why we weren't in the previous week's newspaper. But can you tell me, Jay, exactly what that $5,000 grant money is used for?
Yes, the funds are made available and are used exclusively for driving sober campaign. It's essentially extra patrols for during the holiday period, and it's used for salaries as well as any expenses and supplies used for the alcohol tests, any of those kind of things.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And then lastly, this has nothing to do with the police department, but I was asked by Mr. Rich Carragher to make this announcement, and that is he wants people to be aware, if you are a veteran or you know anyone who is a veteran, to start reminding people that we are having the Veterans Luncheon on Veterans Day, which is Wednesday, November the 11th. And as far as I know, everything is going to be, again, at Doolin's. Is that correct?
Yes.
And he didn't think he would be able to be here this evening, so I'm doing that as a courtesy for Rich in his absence. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilman Borbeck.
I don't have anything at this time, but I wanted to remind you that that's pretty important, so.
Sure.
Oh, okay, well.
I'll do it. Go ahead.
On behalf of the mayor, I'm honored.
Thank you.
There's going to be a flu clinic, well, it's important, there's going to be a flu clinic. You're right, it's too bad the Co-Star isn't here. A flu clinic at the Heights Community Center on the 19th from 10:30 to noon, right? So that's coming up on September 19th, this weekend.
Yes.
Coming up. And then we have a free eye screening clinic. Anybody from age 3 and up. And this is what's going to be at the this is Monmouth County Health Department in Freehold on Route 9. Every second Monday from 2 to 6. So they have a phone number here, so just catch us after the meeting if you want to write those details down. I just didn't want you to miss that. Okay, sure.
Can we post those anywhere?
Yeah, the flu clinic is actually gonna be in this week's Co-Star on Thursday on our
Awesome.
calendar events page, so that's gonna be there.
Yeah,
And
give a
then
shot.
Our new reporter is gonna do, I think, a little article on the free eye screening.
Okay, good.
That's good. Anything else?
I'm good.
Councilman Camp.
The only reminder I have for residents is that we begin hydrant flushing next week, and you may experience discolored water. We hope not, but it's a possibility, so I'd like people to be aware. That's all I have.
Thank you. We move along, we have some reports. Everyone have a chance to look at the planning board ordinance, the court report, police department report, some bills from the Senate, and that's it. Any questions on this? We do have an ordinance introduction. This will be ordinance 2015-9, special emergency appropriation. I think this is for the great, 09.
Convocation.
Codification.
Mayor, if you'd like, I'd read that.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, here it is. It's on the back page.
Ordinance 2015-09.
Mayor, if you'd like, I'll read that.
Yes. What's that you mean?
If you'd like, I'll read that.
Go ahead, thank you.
It's It's ordinance number 2015-09, ordinance authorizing a special emergency appropriation in the amount of $6,000 for the codification of ordinances of the Borough of Spring Lake Heights, New Jersey. Be it hereby ordained by the mayor and council of the Borough of Spring Lake Heights and the county of Monmouth, state of New Jersey as follows. Section 1, the codification of ordinances of the Borough of Spring Lake Heights and the county of Monmouth, New Jersey is hereby authorized, and a special emergency appropriation in the amount of $6,000 is hereby authorized pursuant to NJSA 40A:4-53C of the New Jersey Local Budget Law. Section 2, the Borough Clerk shall file a certified copy of this ordinance as finally adopted with the Director of the Division of Local Government Services in the Department of Community Affairs of the State of New Jersey. Section 3, this ordinance shall take effect after final passage and publication in accordance with applicable law.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion and a second.
Make that motion.
Second.
Are there any questions?
Yeah, two questions. One is, did we, I see this coding systems, do we have any other bids, or
You weren't here when we
Yeah.
discussed this last meeting.
were there other bids?
The update was this was an amendment to the existing contract to extend out the period. We had only had them, Janine, you probably explain it better than I can.
It was actually in '07, we had actually done a contract with them.
Yeah, I
to
recall.
start the process. We never completed that.
So this 6,000 was going to complete the process?
So we have 18, a little over 18 left from that money that is gonna move forward, that would have updated the book to the point we gave them that work to do it. This amount of money is to bring us current to this, till the July 2015, anything that
Oh,
was
so this brings us up to date? Okay.
right up until July 2015.
Okay, okay. And then I suppose it doesn't make sense to switch horses midstream, so I got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything else? No?
No, we're good.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Campion,
Yes.
Mrs. King,
Yes.
Mr. Schuler,
Yes.
Mr. Borback.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
So this will have a public hearing at our next meeting, which is September 28th.
For public?
Hearing.
Yes. Okay, thank you. We have a few resolutions we have to go over. First one will be our 2015-142, authorizing refund for overpaid taxes. Need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Second.
You have any questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Campion,
Yes.
Mrs. King,
Yes.
Mr. Schuler,
Yes.
Mr. Borback.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Resolution R 2015-143, supporting the drive sober. Need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call.
Mr. Campion,
Yes.
Mrs. King,
Yes.
Mr. Schuler,
Yes.
Mr. Borback.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. R 2015-144, requesting Division of Local Government to approve the amendment to the Borough municipal budget. Need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Campion.
Yes.
Mrs. King,
Yes.
Mr. Schuler,
Yes.
Mr. Borback.
Yes.
Thank you. Resolution R 2015-145, approving a social permit. Need a motion and a second.
Make that motion.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call.
Mr. Campion,
Yes.
Mrs. King,
Yes.
Mr. Schuler,
Yes.
Mr. Borback.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Resolution R 2015-146, approving of school crossing guards for 2015-2016 school year. Need a motion and a second.
I'll second.
Thank you, and I'd like to read the names, I think this is important. Ann Beatty, Lisa DeBoer, Howard Dombrowski, Donna Gretz, Harvey Hogan, Robert Faust, if I mispronounced it correctly, Paula McCormick, Kelly Mullaney, William Underdunk, Donald Schneiderman, and Dawn Williver. They will be our crossing guards, and we thank them for that. I need a roll call.
Mr. Campion.
Yes.
Mrs. King,
Yes.
Mr. Schuler,
Yes.
Mr. Borback.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Resolution R 2015-147, approving a request for the use of the letter.
The social, of the charity.
Charity thing.
Yeah, I'll motion to accept.
Second.
Any questions?
I just want to, what this is for, I know there was some advertising going around. This was for a local resident who was diagnosed with lymphoma and has been going through treatment. So they're doing a fundraiser at the park. It is actually this Sunday, September 20th at 4 p.m. So it's a bring your food, have a picnic outside. They'll have games and other things going on there. So that's what this approval's for. So if anybody who's available to come out and support one of our own, that'd be a great thing to do.
And I have a question for either our attorney or Jay. In the letter, it said that they would have donations and someone to match the fund, up to 1,000, I believe. Now,
It was
That's
the
in the
Small Axe
charitable-
Foundation is gonna,
now, there's a local residence, Gary. Is there something in our welfare budget or public assisted budget where we can match the fund as well? Or
That would be more appropriately directed towards Jay, whether or not, but I don't think there's a line item for something like that.
Yeah, there we'd have to check, off the top of my head, I am not sure where we would take those funds from, but we can follow up.
Okay, just check, thank you. Roll call, do we have a motion, second?
We do.
Okay, roll call.
Mr. Campion?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
yes.
Mr. Warbeck?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. Resolution R 2015-148, approving the bill claims for September 10th, 2015. Motion and a second.
Make that motion.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Campion?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Warbeck?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Recent point of meeting where there's public comment time. Any, like to speak on anything that's on your mind, just step forward, give your name and address if you have something. Seeing no hands, close the public comment. Need a motion?
Make that motion.
Second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, well, if anyone doesn't have anything to say, need a motion to adjourn?
Make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.